have you up here for about the first half, and then we'll switch. Okay.
Okay. Switch where?
The Oregon players coming in, please take a seat at any of the round tables and we walk to the ground on the right hand side. We're going to get started in about 1 minute. We're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to Oregon's Media Day at the College Football Playoff Quarterfinal.
Anthony Simmons, yes.
Terrance, nice to meet you.
Presented by Prudential.
My daughter babysits for Malcal's kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's a freshman.
Okay.
Stay away from her.
I got a fiance. You don't got to worry about
There
it.
you go. Then I love it. You got a set ready?
Yep.
Come out 3, 2, and 1. Here you are at the Rose Bowl, classic old Pac-12, old Big Ten matchup. What's this one mean to you?
It means everything to us because, it's a game that means a lot for us because it's a playoff game one, but it's the next game for us. And I think just being able to stay on the West Coast kind of feels at home for us. And I think that means it's just a little more special for us.
What have you learned about this team going back to camp to where you are right now that you didn't know, but that has not surprised you, but impressed you?
Yeah, this team has impressed me just because it's so tough. We found ways to win games that we probably shouldn't have won. There's times that we didn't play our best football and we came out on top, whether that's the defense coming up big, the offense, or even special teams. So I think just the toughness and the resilience of this team and just being able to find ways to win has been really impressive to me.
Take us to the huddle, Terrance. What's it like with Dylan Gabriel?
Man, Dylan Gabriel is a special person on and off the field. He's someone who's a great leader and everyone wants on their team because he's someone who makes everyone around them feel special. So in the huddle, he's himself. He's funny, but he's also a competitive guy who's just ready to attack the day.
As far as the rematch, 1-point game at your place, now neutral site. When you watch Ohio State, what jumps out to you on film defensively?
Yeah, they're special across the board. I think what makes them so good is they have elite athletes at every position, and they attack the ball. They play downhill. They're a physical team, so they're an impressive group across the board. So I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Terrance, good luck. Come away healthy, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
See you out there, brother.
Thank you.
Hey, Terrance, first of all, congratulations to the Rose Bowl. This season for you specifically, what has gone through your mind? What have you learned? How have you grown as a player as well as a man in order to help this offensive side of the ball when it comes to Oregon?
Yeah, it's a great question. I appreciate it. I think growing as a player, I've just been able to step up in big plays and do what's best for the team. Sometimes as a tight end, you don't catch the ball. Sometimes you got to block, and that's not what everyone wants to do. But being able to do that for the team and just putting your ego aside, I think growing as a man, I've grown in multiple ways. I think that's the biggest place I've grown, becoming a leader of this team, a better man of God, now a fiance. So I think there's been a lot of transition for me this year, but I think the biggest is being a leader. And I think that stems from being a man of God, reading the Bible and taking a lot of that into football. I think it's very applicable to everything in life, so I think that would be the biggest for me.
Being a man of faith, how have you been able to balance, like you said, being a fiance, obviously being on the #1 team in the country, your significant contributions. How have you been able to balance that and using your faith to navigate your way through that?
Yeah, I think, I've said this before, I think the Bible is just the roadmap to life. It's our playbook to life, and so, getting in the Bible as much as possible for me, and that teaches me to be a great man of God, to be the best fiance, future husband I can be, but also be a leader on this team, and not really stem to the things of this world and, be a good example for my teammates and everyone around me. So I think that's it's the playbook to life. The more you can spend your time in the playbook, you're going to be better at the play. So I think just getting your head in the Bible.
Who would you look up to growing up as far as maybe not just a tight end, but any player in the NFL that you looked up and said, this is the kind of person I want to have some of their arsenal, put that in my arsenal, so to speak?
Yeah, I think two guys that come to my head, and none of them are tight ends, is Drew Brees. I was a big Saints fan growing up, so Drew Brees is my guy, and that's someone I look up to, my favorite player of all time. And then as a faith thing, Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow was a Denver Bronco at one time, so right in my backyard, but he's a man of faith, and just how he spoke about his faith is really inspirational. Appreciate it.
Terrance, good morning.
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
How you feeling today? How's the excitement and enthusiasm looking coming Rose Bowl Day?
Yeah, we're super excited, super energetic. Can't wait to be here. The weather's a little nicer than Eugene, so we're excited just to be able to be out here. And we're blessed, man. We're blessed.
What will it take to come out victorious? You guys are number one in the nation. Maintaining that, do you feel that that's like a target on your back or what?
Yeah, I think, when you come to Oregon, it's a target on your back no matter what. I think everyone wants to play their best football against us, and I think that's just emphasized when you have the number one team. We don't look at that. We played as each next game, and every game matters because it's the next game. And from here on out, it's a 1-0 season, so it's win or go home. So for us, we're just locked in, and for us to win, we got to play our brand of football. It's physical in the trenches. We got to run the ball and just do what we do.
What was the highlight of your season thus far?
Man, there's been a lot. I think just winning the Big Ten championship would probably be the highlight so far. I came back I had a chance to go to the NFL last year, and I decided to come back, and that was the stuff worth winning. And I think a Big Ten championship falls in that category. So I've been to a couple Pac-12 championships, and I haven't won one. So to finally come out on top and see the confetti fall for a Big Ten championship was pretty special.
As far as your faith, talk about, you have a favorite scripture that inspires you or motivates you?
Yeah, it's kind of a not a corny one, but Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I think that just speaks to me playing football, being able to do anything through Christ, and I think the biggest part is through Christ. Everyone says I can do anything, but Jesus gives me that power and gives me the ability to do all the things I do on the field. He's blessed me with amazing ability, an amazing life, and just all the resources I have around me.
As far as your faith, who inspired or introduced you to your faith?
Yeah, my parents, I grew up in the church. Both my parents introduced me to faith. We were going to churches on Sunday, going on Wednesday night, youth group, whatever it was. So I grew up strong in the church, and my mom and dad were both great role models in their faith. So I think they were definitely the biggest people.
Congratulations on that. Well, give a shout out to all your fans, family, and friends.
Thank you, man. Shout out to all my family, my friends, and just everyone out there. Appreciate you. Thank you, man.
Terrance, yourself and kind of your fellow players up on the stages here received a lot of recognition this season for everything you've done and everything Oregon's done.
Yeah.
Who on the team do you think hasn't received enough recognition?
Oh, that's hard. I think there's a lot of guys on the team that actually don't receive the recognition they deserve. I think there's a lot of guys on this team that make this team go. I think there's a lot of young guys like Kenyon Sadiq who's came up. He does a lot of special teams as well as playing some offense for us. I think guys like Jabbar don't get the credit they deserve. Those guys are locked down corners. I think Jeff Bossa across from me. I can name a lot of guys. I think a lot of those guys deserve even more recognition than they get right now. I think a lot of people don't talk about everyone on this team because I think everyone on this team is a high-level football player.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. What's up?
What's up, folks? How we doing, man?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. Yeah, I can check.
I'm
going to try this one again.
Sure.
Okay. All right, go ahead. You can start.
Squat a little bit.
I'm going to give you a little kneel. Give you a kneel down here, bud.
All right, we're here at Terrance
That's a pro,
Ferguson.
man. That's a pro.
Terrance, we're here right before the Rose Bowl. It feels like a national championship type game. It feels like a heavyweight fight. From our side, what does it feel like on the inside?
Yeah, for us it's the same way. I've said this before. It's a 1-0 season from here on out. It's win or go home. So every game is kind of like that. And we have a great opponent across from us, and we're a great team as well. So I like the heavyweight matchup look to it. So there's a lot of good players on the field, a lot of elite talent, a lot of good coaches, two historic programs, and I definitely feel that way as well.
So we've obviously kind of from the outside again gotten a kick out of some of the ways that you guys have talked about your opponents and talked about what's going to be important in these games coming up, and we kind of see it after the fact. Did you get to a point this season where you were kind of excited to see what Coach Lanning was going to bring up for the next game and the next opportunity?
Yeah, Coach Lanning does a great job of making us play with a chip on our shoulder, even when it probably shouldn't be. And, I think he does a great job of doing that. And each week we have the theme of the week, and I think I look forward to it. The meetings are fun, and it gets me fired up to go play games.
Can you tell us what the theme is this week?
It's Up in Smoke this week. Up in Smoke is kind of like the catchwords for this week.
So when you have an opponent that you guys are familiar with, that you played and it was the game of the season, how much do you take from that matchup, and then how much is it what they've done since then, and how both of your teams have changed?
Yeah, I think obviously you have the film against that team, so that's really good to use, but also they've changed as a team and we've changed as a team. I think both teams have gotten better throughout the season, and I think for us it's just worrying about what we can do. We know what they do on defense, and just taking care of our business and really focusing on ourselves is the biggest thing. And, they're a great defense, so you got to make plays against them, and their offense is good, and they're a great team. So.
Terrance, we talk a lot about offensive weapons on that side. Obviously, with you guys, no shortage there. How do you view your impact and Kenyon's impact in the tight end room and Patrick and that whole group as you try to put this game plan together?
Yeah, I think our impact goes under the radar a lot just because we block as well. I think our group takes a lot of pride in blocking, and you turn on the tape, and I think there's a lot of times that we're blocking our butt off, and we're trying to spring plays for the next guy next to us. But along with that, Kenyon in the passing game, me and Pat all, I feel like, bring something to the passing game that was a mismatch. And, I think we have an elite room. I'm really proud of the guys in my room and everything they've done this year.
Yeah, and it does speak to the different types of ways that Dylan Gabriel can get the ball down the field. And, for someone who kind of forget that he transferred in this time last year because of how well it flows and how it works. So how did you guys build that chemistry, and what makes him such a special player?
Yeah, I think that just speaks to Dylan as a person. He came in and he earned his stripes right off the bat. He worked hard in the offseason, but I think another thing is he cares about everybody on this team. He's a special leader. He makes everyone around them feel special. He makes sure that it doesn't matter if you're the fifth string, the starter, the kicker, he's going to talk to you, and he has a genuine relationship with those people. So I think it starts with him, and when you have a quarterback that you feel comfortable with, and a guy of his stature, and just being one of the guys, So I think he just does that himself, and it really speaks to Dylan.
Why do you feel like this team, this Oregon Ducks team, is built for moments like this that you're going to see in the Rose Bowl?
Yeah, I think it just you go throughout the season. We found ways to win. When the offense doesn't play great, the defense doesn't play great, the other side of the ball gets them, and even special teams. We've won games in every phase of the game, and I think that just speaks to our toughness, our resilience, and winners find a way to win. And I think that's what we've done this year.
Thanks, Terrance. Look forward to the game. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you, guys. I'm good. How are you?
Good. You've got a lot of breaks in this.
Oh, it's all good. That's what we came here for.
Yeah, for sure. You guys have talked a lot about culture this season and your connection and everything. I'm wondering, how that's manifesting right now for you guys. Given the stage, given how important these games are. What does that look like right now?
Yeah, I think we call them our DNA traits, and that's something that we've built this program on. I think Coach Laney's done a great job of instilling that culture into us. So for us, it's the base of our team. Being connected, being growing, sacrifice, and toughness. Those are the ones, and they show up on the field. I think you watch our film, you see how connected we are. You see the toughness our team brings to the field. And I think now more than ever, we lean on those. Whether that's just having a meal with the guys, or sacrificing stuff that you want to do, but you can't do because we're in a big game. You're looking after your body or spending time doing just something different. I think those just are the base of this team, and we lean on those.
Right, and these road trips in particular, you guys took a lot of them this year, including like long distance.
Yeah.
How did the culture and the connection show up on those trips? Like, what did that look like for you?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just everybody who goes on those trips is a professional. We treat them as business trips, and you don't really got to worry about anybody. That's a first for a team I've been a part of. Like, I'm not worried about anybody messing around or goofing off or anything like that. Everyone's came, and it's a business trip. We're here to handle business. So I think everyone's really bought into that and done a great job throughout the season of doing that.
Yeah, and what are some of, I guess, the memories that stand out for you personally in terms of like connection and fellowship and spending time with these guys?
Yeah, there's a lot of memories, honestly. In this short amount of time, you pull guys from everywhere across the country, and you got transfers. You only have some months together.
Yeah.
And we've done a great job of building that connection, but I think some of the ones that stick out to me is Dylan put on the Dime Time Retreat, he calls it, and we went down in his minivan to Grants Pass, and we threw the ball around, got on a boat down the river, just spent some time with the guys. That was really fun. There's been some times I went to Hawaii with Dylan. That was really fun, seeing where he's from, seeing how he's built with our fiancés, and I've spent a lot of time with Dylan especially, but also the tight ends. We've gone and had meals together. I think another one that just sticks out to me, not too many weeks ago, we went up to Pat's house and shot shotguns, shot some clay pigeons, and that was fun seeing the guys do that. And, everyone was safe, and everything went out good, but it was just fun we have a lot of guys in the room and really on this team that are connected outside of football, and I think that's the biggest thing for us. Appreciate it.
What is it that makes a tight end a great tight end?
Yeah, I think a great tight end is versatile. I think that's the biggest thing is you got to do so many different things. There's times where pass blocking, run blocking, and running routes, and in all those moments, most of the time you're either the slow receiver or you're the small offensive lineman. So I think just having the versatility and the athleticism to be able to do all those things makes a great tight end.
You look too slow when you're out in space. So what do you bring to the passing game? You've got great receivers. So what do you bring to the passing game that maybe they can't necessarily do?
Yeah, I think being a tight end, you're always a big body. I have a big frame. God blessed me with being 6'5" and having a long wingspan, good catch radius. So I think that's the biggest thing is I take pride when the ball's in the air that I go and get it, and having a good catch radius, being a safe outlet for the quarterback and somewhere he knows where I'm going to be at all times.
This feels like this has been a great year for tight ends nationally. And Warren. What have you watched what they do and try to steal ideas from them?
Yeah, no, I watch a lot of the tight ends. I keep up with all the tight ends. I think the tight end community is tight. I think everyone in the tight end, for some reason, room cut from a different cloth, and so I definitely keep up with those guys, and those guys are having elite years. Across all of football, there's a lot of tight ends having a lot of success, and I think that's just a long time coming. But it's just really cool to see those guys.
Yeah, you guys played Purdue this year. They had a pretty good tight end, Max player, who actually just transferred to Ohio State.
Yeah.
Do you know him well?
I don't know him well, but I've watched a lot of his film, and I actually like the way he plays football. He's a great route runner, and at his size moves really well. So I have nothing but credit for that guy.
Terrance, what's the advantage of having an experienced tight end? Because I think Pat seems like he's been there forever, but I mean, you guys really do have one of the more experienced groups.
Yeah, I think for us, me and Pat have kind of been the leaders of that room, but having a guy like Pat in this room is so special because he's seen everything. You know, you said it, he's been here for a while, but he's been through injuries. He's toughed out through injuries. He's played a lot of different teams, a lot of different schemes. He knows football like the back of his hand. So just having someone like that you can lean on, ask questions, and show the young guys the ropes and how to do it. You know, I think Pat's done it the right way. And so just having someone like that to really lean on during the season and have show the young guys the path and kind of leave the tight end room better than we found it is what we try to do. So
That room is seeing plenty of quarterbacks at Oregon. What is it about Dylan that stood out where he was able to kind of get himself and integrate himself so well into the game?
Yeah, I think Dylan is just a special person. You know, I think that just speaks to him as a leader. Off the field, he's someone that cares about everyone on the team. It doesn't matter if you're the seventh string tight end. You know, he has a genuine relationship. He's someone you can talk to no matter what, and he makes everyone around him feel special. So, him as a person is he's a different cat, honestly. And I just think that, and then just the way he competes, he's a competitive guy. He attacks every day like it's a game. So I think when you have a guy like that who's competing, works hard, and just really is connected with everyone on the team, not just his quarterbacks or the star receivers, but everyone on the team, I think it just makes for a special recipe.
How much does it help too that he's been in a lot of different schemes?
Yeah, I think it's really special. You know, Dylan has been through a lot of football, played a lot of football, so he knows. Been through a lot of schemes, knows a lot of concepts that he likes to put in, and he's thrown a lot of those, you know. So having different coordinators, being able to pick and pull and be able to, he has great recall. He could pull up something from 2019 UCF, and he'll remember what it was and be able to pull it up and show the guys of how he wants something ran, or if he wants to change up a concept, you know, he can pull those because he's had so many coordinators and he's been able to play in those games. So it's special.
How much, what from that first game against Ohio State sticks out?
Yeah, I think they're a great team. They have great athletes all the way across the board. They're super talented. And for us, I think there's some things that we left on the field. I don't think we played our best football and still found a way to win. So just focusing on what we can do better as a team. We went to the doctor, is what we call it, and just finding out the little things that we messed up on that can really make this team special. Appreciate it.
What do you remember most about the first time around with Ohio State?
Yeah, I think the thing I remember the most about is just their team has elite athletes across the board. You know, they have good players across the board. When you play someone of those caliber, you got to bring your best. And I remember them being good players, and for us, that means we got to play our best football.
As you go into this game, it's Big Ten versus Big Ten. Is that an advantage because you know kind of what they are, or is it a disadvantage because they kind of know who you are?
I'd call it an advantage. You know, when you've seen someone, you know their players, you've played against them, you have film against them. I think when you're more comfortable against somebody, we play these guys every day in practice. So, you know, I feel my best when I'm playing those guys. So just getting more comfortable with the team and knowing what they do. But also for us, we change a lot on offense. We do a lot of different things, and I think that's what makes us special. Is we have every concept under the sun in our offense. And, you know, we have a lot of special talents. So just being able to be versatile and be able to move, I think makes us good or special.
I'll ask about Ohio State, not yourself. I know you don't want to give away any game plan on your side, but how is Ohio State different? When you watch the next 6-7 games of their season after they played you, how do they look different to you?
Man, across the board, one, they have elite athletes, but they've been playing downhill, they've been playing on fire. I think those guys have done a great job of stopping the run, and they've been good against the pass as well. So, you know, you have a rounded group like that, has elite talent across the board. They really just attacked it and been running around on fire, it feels like.
Tez Johnson appears to be unguardable a lot of times. What makes Tez so special?
Man, everything about Tez. One, his quickness and his speed is the thing that jumps off the tape to you. But I think another thing that is just his competitiveness. He's a guy who is confident when he goes out there and he thinks he's going to win every rep. And most of the time that's true. So I think just for him, it's his competitiveness and really his confidence off the field as well that just makes him him.
What goes into the process for the uniform combinations. I mean, I asked your coach about it. He's like, well, you know, the equipment manager, the players have input, but as a player, you have input. So how does that work for those of us that don't cover Oregon?
Yeah, so we have a uniform committee to select a few players, and they kind of draw everything up before season, and then as we get into like the extra games and the postseason, our equipment manager is the best in the nation. You know, Kenny Farr handles it, so he gets it right, and he kind of pulls from players and asks questions. But he's seen so many uniforms, he can put anything together.
Just trying not to dominate everything.
No, you're good.
Oregon comes in, wins the Big Ten in year one. The Big Ten has had a lot of teams join the conference and not been able to do that. I mean, what makes you guys, you know, so special?
Yeah, I think Oregon football is different. I think just the resources we have, the coaching we have, the players we've been able to pull. But honestly, we lean on our DNA traits. That's connection, growth, toughness, and sacrifice. And I think when you play with those and you can turn on the tape and see those as a team, it's just any team will be successful with that. So we just really lean on those, and our coach has done a great job. The resources we have at Oregon is unbelievable.
Dylan Gabriel came into the program already very established at the previous stops.
Yeah.
He's taken it to another level with you guys. I mean, what makes Dylan so special?
Yeah, Dylan's he's special on the field and off the field. I think a couple things that make him special is his competitiveness. He attacks every day like it's a game. He's one of the hardest working people I've ever seen. If you don't see him without an iPad, watching film or taking notes, something's wrong. So it doesn't matter if he's eating dinner at his house, he has the iPad, you know. And so he's a hard worker. He's competitive, but also just his leadership off the field. He's a guy who's connected to everyone. Doesn't matter if you're the kicker, the fifth string receiver, or the star receiver. He doesn't care. He's connected. He has a relationship with those guys, and he's a unique individual, and he's just someone who cares about everyone. So he makes everyone feel special.
When you guys go good on good in practice, what really stands out about your defense?
Yeah, everything. I think you look around the room and you line up across those guys, across the board from our D-line to the back end to the linebackers. There's special players across the board. So it's always fun when we go against our guys because those are the best in the nation, and I really believe that. And those guys show up every day working hard, and they're all competitive. So if we get a 2-minute drill or a good on good, it's like a game. So just being able to play against those elite players, it really helps us.
What's your New Year's resolution?
Oh, I really haven't had a New Year's resolution yet, so I don't got nothing special for you there.
How much football outside of your own tape do you get to watch during this process? I mean, do you get to watch any bowl games? Do you get to watch maybe some of the other playoff games? How does that work? How are you able to do everything?
Yeah, 100%. I think obviously we watch a lot of our own tape, our practice tape games, but I think we get to watch those games when they come on. I think there's some time for that. So I watched some of the playoff games, some of the bowl games, a lot of NFL tape as well. So there's time for it, and it's always good just to watch football. You can pick up on things from anybody and learn from everybody.
When you saw the playoff draw happen, that Ohio State was a potential matchup, and there was no guarantee Ohio State was going to get here. They had to beat Tennessee, but what were your initial thoughts?
Yeah, we honestly weren't focused on that when we first knew that we had the bye, and we were focused on ourselves. That's like the first 3 weeks of practice where let's focus on ourselves, get better. We had a lot of things we could fix, so we weren't really too worried about the opponent. I think when you worry about the opponent, that can cause problems. So we worried about ourselves, got ourselves better during that bye week, and then obviously we take a look at the winner, and we were ready for both teams, preparing for both teams. So it doesn't matter who we play. I'd rather play the best teams anyways, and line it up in the middle of the parking lot if you have to.
Hey Terrance, I think about what Kenyon did in the Big Ten championship game, and I'm like, who's going to be the dudes next year?
Yeah.
Like when you're gone and playing with you, and not looking at him, who are some other guys that maybe we don't know about that you see in practice every day that are gonna, be the dudes next year?
Yeah, I think not to pick on him, but I would say that guy Kenyon Sadiq is special. He's he's someone I spent a lot of time with, and just seeing him grow as a man off the field as well, and just how he's attacked football. He's obviously an elite athlete, and everyone can see that when he steps on the field, but how he's attacked the process and how much he's gotten better since he first got here is you got to notice it. So I'd say him for sure. I think we have some young receivers that can be really good players. I think Jeremiah McClellan, I think he'll be really good. You know, he's attack practice and gotten a lot better throughout the year. There's so many of the guys, though, you can just go through and name off names. I think Dante Moore is going to be an elite guy for us. He's someone who came in to Oregon knowing he'd take the back seat, and he's learned a lot, and I've seen him grow just since the time he's been there. And there's always special talent around Oregon, and there's a lot of guys that you probably won't even think about that will pop up and make a lot of plays for us.
What have you seen out of Dante? Like, what kind of quarterback is he going to be?
He's going to be an elite quarterback. I think he's grown so much with the knowledge of the game, and learning the concept, learning the checks, knowing defenses in our offense. And he has all the arm talent in the world, but just learning that stuff and becoming a complete quarterback, he looks confident every time he's out there in practice. I know that he's going to come in and be special.
Is there a play or a moment that sticks out over the last year that he made where you're just like...
Yeah, there's some times, honestly, I've just seen him throw the ball deep, and it's a pretty ball.
Yeah.
It's quite a beauty in the air, and it falls right in the basket. And I think you can't teach that. It's something that he's been blessed with, and he knows how to use it.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm good. Thank you.